So, what's up, guys? What is on the news today? So, for today's presentation, our group will presenting about the algae, and our group consists of three people, which is me, Muhammad Haikal Husaini bin Muhammad Saidi, and my fellow friends, Muhammad Ashraf bin Shari, and Asfa Irfan Danish bin Azrul Fahmi. And for our presentation, we will cover about the understanding about the algae. We will understand about the algae and its organism. The second one is classification of organism in taxonomy charts. We can classify between kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. The third one is we can know the uses and application of algae in our daily life. We can understand the uses and application of algae in the world. And the last one, we can see about the Al-Quran and Islamic perspective using the akli and nakli knowledge to relate about something in our daily life. So, what is algae? So, algae is an organism that grow in water, and almost all specialized for aquatic existence. Algae also can make photosynthesis. Why? Because algae have their chloroplast. And when the plant or organism have chloroplast, they can make their own food. So, algae considered as protists. Protists means eukaryotic organism. They are not animals, plant or fungi. Is a protist or algae. It's not plant, animal or fungi. So, do you know? One study of algae is called phycology. And a person who studies algae is a phycologist. It's not psychology, but phycologist. Phycologist. Alright, proceed. So this is our taxonomy chart. So for the blue color is a domain, and the red color is a kingdom, while the black color is phylum, and the green color is class. And this is one of the example of algae taxonomy. So we choose one of the taxonomy of seaweed, which is the phylum of the seaweed is Rhodophyta, and the class is Rhodophycae, and the order is Bengales, the family is Bengaceae, genus is Porphyra, and species is Umbilices. So, we make some acronyms to all of you to remember the taxonomy. So, we come up with this acronym, which is dulu kita pakai cawat orang Fiji guna seluar. How the acronym works? So, as you can see, the first thing of our taxonomy is domain. So we start with dulu, and kingdom is kita, phylum pakai, class cawat, order orang, family Fiji, genus guna, and species seluar. So you can remember, dulu kita pakai cawat, orang Fiji guna seluar. Just remember the acronym, and you can remember all of the taxonomy chart. So I hope we can remember it and use it for our explanation. So proceed. So what is the uses of algae? As you know, that algae is used most for our food. And what's the type of food that algae can make? It's seaweed. You see? Seaweed. So what is seaweed? Seaweed is edible seaweed or sea vegetable are seaweeds that can be eaten and used in the preparation of food. And the marine red alga is which is Porphyra, has been cultivated extensively in many Asian countries such as Japan, Korea, South Korea, China, and many more, as an edible seaweed used to wrap the rice and fish that compose the Japanese food, which is sushi. And the most famous food in Korean food is kimbap. So Most of the seaweed in the sea are the uh, edible to eat, but for the most in the freshwater algae are toxic, which is we can't eat it. And other use of algae is for fertilizer and algae biofuel and food. And for your information, what's the benefit of the seaweed? Benefit of the seaweed is it contains high level of iodine relative to other food. This because the seaweed actually live in the sea. They are habitat of the edible seaweed at the sea. So most of the nutrient and minerals for the sea are transferred to the seaweed. That's why seaweed have the greater amount of vitamin and mineral compared to other food. So it's a good source of vitamin and minerals and contains a variety of protective antioxidants. And the seaweed also provide fiber and polysaccharide that can support your gut health. So we can see the video of the production of seaweed. So the seaweed production is mainly focused about how Gimi seaweed produce the non-GMO seaweed for our daily life food. And the video shows how they harvest and they process the seaweed from raw, which is raw seaweed that wet, and the wet seaweed become roasted. So you can see most of the seaweed harvest hundreds daily, and the seaweed transferred in the container to send to the factory to process it. And the most seaweed they use are red seaweed, which is they look like poop, but not the poop, it's a food, and it's very delicious when they roasted and be eaten. So in the facility, they wash, they sheeted and dry the seaweed, and the seaweed actually been roasted 2 times. Once after they're drying the seaweed, and once after they're being seasoned. And after the process are complete, they will be packaging in a vacuum packaging, and they will cut it in smaller pieces and put in a box and sell it to the groceries. And for your information, the crispy seaweed is just like eating potato chip, but it's healthier. So it's amazingly that seaweed also actually have many nutrition and vitamins compared to the potato chips. That's why consuming seaweed are more healthier than eating your potato chips. Alright, so we can proceed. Next. So based on Al-Quran and Islam perspective, we quote on an ayah in Quran, which is in verse 99, chapter number 6, and we use the ayah, which is فَأَخْرَجْنَا مِنْهُ خَضِرًا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. فَأَخْرَجْنَا مِنْهُ خَضِرًا نُخْرِجُ مِنْهُ حَبًّا مُتَرَاكِبًا. Sadaqallahul Azim, which is the mean we produce from it greenery, from which we produce grains arranged in layers. And some point that we can get from this ayah, rain provide enough water supply for plants. Plants that have chlorophyll can make their own foods. Every plant that have their own adaptation and produce their own unique food, which is shape and size. And the ayah also say in the last sentence, indeed, there are signs for people who believe. And Allah say that to ask the human to think, observe the signs, to see how the amazingly Quran portrays the nature for us to think about it, and how we can relate this ayah with an algae. So algae can make photosynthesis. As you know from the previous ayah, it said that from it greenery, from which we produce grains arranged in layers. This shows that algae also can make photosynthesis. One of the example is they have chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. And there also are many types of algae, which is brown, red, and green, which is the major one. But all of them are unique. So this is our reference for our presentation, and thank you for your intention. And we hope that this presentation will benefit all of us. And ma'asalamah wa ila liqa.